let's go to setup and go to develop, click on pages. There are many pages in my system. Okay, so first of all, let's open search page. Okay, search requirement to know. As I said, I want a URL of Salesforce. That's the reason I clicked on new tab, or I can type it. I don't want to type that. I can directly use this home tab, remove all the link after .com and paste that. Okay, one second. Yeah, I can't do that. I have to put apex before this. Apex slash, click on enter. Okay, now I got the page which I want to open. Okay, on my page editor. Okay, this is online page editor. So this current page is searching the contacts in my system. Okay, first of all, okay, this is a page. First of all, let's see what variables, what apex actions we are using in this page. Anyway, this page is linked with this such class controller, and that's this class. It automatically show the linked class for this page. Okay, such class. And if you come down, this is a action method, means it's a method in apex. Okay, and such text is a variable, and dynamic search is the name of the action function. Sorry, this is not the apex function. See, on key up I'm calling this function. This is a JavaScript function. As I don't have JavaScript functions, I have to come again and check which function is that. That's a action function. See, dynamic search is the name of that action function. I'm calling this the action function from here. So action function is like JavaScript function only. If I want to link JavaScript with apex, I can use the help of action function. For suppose on key up will generally call some client side methods like JavaScript methods. On key up I can do some alert message. I can do that alert one.
Yeah, Venkat, I have a question for you.
Yeah, I can use two functions.
Yesterday you used this standard.
Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday you used like a standard controller, and today you're using this controller. This controller. What's the difference between them?
Yeah. See, this requirement is not standard requirement. I have to create a new page which searches the contacts or accounts. I think it's contacts only. I have to search contact. That's a requirement. That is the reason I am using this custom controller. This is called custom controller. Standard controller means you are not going to modify the logical part. Okay. When I want to build this requirement, I can't build this with standard controller. I have to write my own code, own methods. For when I'm clicking on this view all button, I have to search the records in the contact object and I have to print it. Okay, on the page like this. This is a custom requirement. That is the reason I'm using custom controller. If I want to use custom controller, I have to use this attribute controller equal to such class. So now this is called apex controller class, which is helping my search page. The search class is a Apex controller which is helping such class. Okay, and I was telling about the view state also, right, in the last class. If I click on view state, see what happens. There are many records here in the system. Around, I don't remember, it's more than 80 or 90, okay, or more than that. Okay, if I expand this particular example, expand the view state, the actual book 9 dot search page, this is the total page view state. So this state total page is having 18.03 KB. Okay, and the state of this page is having 17.77 KB, and if you expand that from the controller, you are getting 8.23 KB. I'm expanding that. There is such class. Expanding this. See, there is a list of contacts. Actually, the size of all the contacts which I am showing in this page is 8.03 KB. That is 98 records. Some okay. See, I think not 98 records. It's 419 records, 418 records.
Yeah, Venkat,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, when I search in the Google, it's saying that controller is used for linking Apex classes to the VF pages. Is that true? Or
Yes, exactly.
controller and extension both are used to link Apex page, Apex class to VF page?
Exactly. That's what we are doing here. Oh, means actually, what is custom controller? Means you are writing custom logic inside Apex class, and you are taking the help of that, and you are trying to print the data on the page. That's what I'm doing. This is the Apex class. I'm linking this page to this Apex such class, this controller attribute. And why is that? I want to take help from the search class. This search class will query the records from the database. I'll show that to you. I haven't done explaining this. I have to do it. Okay, see, this is what I'm doing. I'm querying from the database. I got the results into lstcon. Okay, what is lstcon? It's a list of contacts I have defined here. And when I'm calling this, I'm calling when I'm loading the page for the first time, and also when I'm searching it also. How I'm searching? By some text value. Select ID, name, phone from contact where name like this particular text which I'm entering in this particular field. I can't build this requirement with a standard controller. For standard controller, you don't need to write any class. Salesforce already gave that internally. It supports all that. Okay, it supports to print data without any methods, Apex method stuff. Okay, you said correct. The controller attribute is useful for linking VF page with the class. Why you are linking? To get the data from that class, right? Can I go ahead? Okay. I'm moving on to the next topic. Let's. I'm talking about action function, right?
Venkat, a quick question.
Yes.
So does it mean that under the search tab, all of these records would be available? So does all of these records are going to be created about the different pages, like the per record for per page?
Actually, yeah, these records are there in the system. That's what I'm printing on the page. When I'm searching, I'm showing all the records. If I'm clicking on contact tab, there are 419 contacts. That particular data I'm trying to show on the page. If I'm searching with Arthur, I'm going to see only this contact. I'll show that. Why I'm getting alert message? You know that because I updated the code and added some JavaScript method to show some alert message on key up. What is on key up method? It's a JavaScript event which is happening at this text field. When I'm entering a value, after entering you are keying up. So what is key down and key up? When you're pressing a key, it's key down. At the time you are going to get the event occurred. Okay. When you are releasing the key, so generally you type keys, right? So when you're clicking on A, there are two events happening: on key up, on key down. So on key down first, after that on key up. On key press also there's one more event, okay? Long press, okay? One second, guys. Yeah, did I answer your question? Did you understand
Yeah, Venkat, I got my answer.
why I'm getting the one alert message on the page? Because of this alert, because I can also call a number of JavaScript functions. So dynamic search, which you are seeing here, is also a action function. Sorry, is also a, I can call JavaScript function with the name dynamic search. But the requirement is not that. When I'm entering some keys, it should automatically search the data dynamically by calling a apex method. Okay. So for input text, there is no action attribute. You can check that. That is the reason what I am doing on key press. So you generally enter values into the text values, but there is no, you can't call action from that directly. You can't call some apex methods. When you are clicking on a button, yes, you can call that. See, that is the reason there is a command button called view all. If I'm clicking on this button, I'm going to search and show all the records in the system. But how to link an action to the Apex page? This will help you. There is an event called onKeyUp. With this particular keyword, I can only call JavaScript methods. And I know I can use action function in this scenario. I can name a function action function name with the name dynamic search, and I'm linking an action. Actually, the do search action in my page will help to search the records. Re-render, PB, and status stat. I will explain that. Well, first of all, I will click on save, and I will show you how the page will work. ARTHUR. See, I'm not clicking on view all button. See, it automatically ART. It automatically searches for Orthod song because ART is the first three letters of this. Okay, you don't need to click on this button. Click on view all. I'm resetting all. So sometimes the older way of searching the records is enter the value, click on search. That's the older way. You have to click on a button, but here you are not clicking the button also. When you're searching when you're searching the values, it automatically searches on the parallelly on key up is the event which I'm using for that. Why is that? On key up, you already have character added on the text field, right? And why I'm using re-render? After searching the data with the action function, and I wasn't calling do search, it obviously search, this method will search the data for me for showing the contacts with the name looks like such text value. Once the search is done, there are only one record which I have to show. Where I have to show? I have to show here. That is the reason I am re-rendering the PB. Means I am re-rendering page block. I assigned page block with ID called PB. That is the reason I am completely re-rendering, means refreshing this particular component from fifth line to the page block is ending around some 36 line. Okay, and stat is useful to show the status on the page. The loading button, what you are seeing, see, I'll click on A. The loading button is coming because of the status attribute. Okay, so the status attribute will only be shown only till the search is done. When you are searching some records, there are some uh, so it takes some time, like milliseconds time, to search the records in the backend. That time I don't have any data to print on the page. In that time, it's showing the status message. I'll show the status. See, action status I'm defining here. The stat value what I'm putting in status, I have to define that with action status. Action status with ID stat. I'm using a apex facet start, and I'm using the apex image tag which I want to print here. That's the loading button. You know the loading button resource how I am including with the image tag. This I am using global variable dollar resource dot loading. Loading is the image, and the height I am giving 20 pixels to fit accordingly, which is the same size of the text box.
Venkat, what does the facet stands for?
So facet is useful like for implementing widget type of applications to uh, set the status like that to start the events. Okay, like I'm like currently saying, hey, please start this and stop this at this point. Okay,
Okay, but see that like you guys started the node, but like you closing the node before stop. So what does it mean? Like after the.
means once this is what happens is this will generally store the status, means status. Once it is, once search has been started, I can really explain in this way. For suppose, if I am calling this stat, means it's called that there's a status like it started. If I am starting that, I'm going to call this. Once that action method is loaded the data properly and it got back, okay, it's going to call the stop method. That is where I am trying to print the data. In the facet start, I am showing only the loading button. In the facet stop, I am trying to show the list counts. So this code is helping us to print the data on the screen. The facet code, the facet name equal to stop, is helping me to print the data. What data I am printing? LSTCon contains list of contacts. I am printing y is the variable, y dot name, y dot phone, uh, contact name and contact phone number on the page. These two columns only I am printing. You can see it here, 26th line. You can use in this type of examples the facet thing.
Do we have any other live examples so we can also pull it out the extract or as well as create our own columns and then show all those values? Does it is possible, Venkat?
You want to try these examples on your own?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, I can give some access, and I can make this some read-only option because there are a lot of examples in my code which I'm creating from many days. Okay, but some of the examples are modified by my participants. Okay, they haven't even rolled back changes; they still kept them the same way. That is the reason most of my examples are not proper. Have okay, there are many examples in this organization, so I can share some license to all the team members who are in this group. Okay,
Wonderful, because we wanted to create, if you can give us the permission, we really want to go ahead and create it about the various different pages, or only one page would be good enough for us. And we want to extract the data from the database and create it about all those subset of the queries.
okay.
So if you think so, that would be a wonderful example, then definitely we wanted to go ahead.
These are not the great and wonderful examples because some videos are, I mean, sorry, some complete code is completely modified, and some code is completely broken. Okay, I don't have time to fix that. Okay. I gave access to earlier. I used to give access to all my user participants. I create a users. This edition is enterprise partner edition where I can create 20 users. I have done that, and that's okay. I hope I can even do for you guys, but I create only one license for you all so that you guys can log in with that license. Right.
Yep, that would be good. Yep, thank you.
Let's go and check more about this example. Actually, this example if you know very good about this example, yes, you can do all the scenarios which are closer to search related stuff. This type of scenarios, yes, customer will ask. Sometimes they want to ask for a page where they have to search opportunities of on some different way on the amount or on the opportunity name or on the account wise. Okay, you have to implement the same example by modifying some changes. Here we are working on the contact example, but in that case you work on opportunities example.
Are we able to create it about the various different search modules under our coding section?
Various various modules.
Various different search section, like I would give example, as you will type it about the A and we will get all the data content related to the A. But if in any case, if I would type it as a 9 there, so am I able to see all those record who is having the first parameter as 9 in the phone?
Yeah, there is no A9. Okay, I'm sorry, I went back to the previous page. Yes, it works. If I'm giving 9, there's no value with 9. There's no values, it won't show that. You're asking this? I'm not sure what you're asking.
Yep. Yep. Can you please type A?
Mhm.
And now within the first record, we saw the number, like the phone number, it's going to be started from the 9. So my question is about, are we able to use the numeric value for the search criteria?
No, we are only searching on the accounts. If you want to search on multiple values, multiple for suppose if there is a contact, there are a lot of fields in that. If you want to do such type of implementations, you have to modify your query, SOQL query, and you have to um, also, or else you can do one thing. You can search by make this field value, search by this or search by this, like that. You can use R loop under that where condition. You know, SOQL queries, right? Where account name like this or where account name sorry account phone number is like this. With that, if I'm using unloop, it won't really work. You have to use only R loop, because if it is matching by phone also, it will show that records. If it's matching by contact name also, it will show this records. If it's matching by contact phone number also, it shows this records. Okay, that you have to modify the SOQL query. That works. That's not a big deal.
Venkat, but a quick question, like, but the SQL queries about the data extract and whatever the data we are getting it, we are gonna to be see the same data on the US side. But for this button, like the search criteria, are we able to reuse this button for the numeric value?
Yeah, I can use the view all button.
Yes.
Yes, the numeric it sets, because the view all button is not doing anything. It generally calling the global query, like without any where condition it's calling. That's the reason I'm showing all the 419 records on the system. View all query is just a very sample function. You can check that. I'll show that things to you. Let's first of all we'll see the tags in my view of page, status tags, and the styling tag which I'm using here is for this button. See, actually if I'm writing a button after this text value, it should stay here exactly. But why I'm showing here is means I have to show this button actually in the center of the page. That's a good thing. That's a good practice, UI practice. And how to show that page? With the styling. Styling means it comes into CSS. If you see in the comment tag, there is a attribute called style, and I am using I'm passing this values position equal to relative. Left is 300 pixels. If I'm using 30 pixels, what happens? The view all button will be to move towards left side, because from left side I added 30 pixels now. Actually, if I add 200 pixels, it comes somewhere in the middle under product or under forecasting. See, so the position is relative will help you in what way you want to position this particular view all button in terms of the actual position. Okay, with the relative position of the previous button. The previous button is here. That button is automatically moved by 200 pixels. Okay. Same with a lot of styling, you can even show the text colors in a different way. Okay. Font color. Also, I can use simply color. Let's see. I clicked on save. I think you are not seeing the proper value here. Now you can see it, right. See, color colon FFF is the color code. I have to use this symbol. Okay, to use the color codes. So now the color is modified from black to view all. The view all black color is the default color from Salesforce, but I forcefully changed the color to white color with this styling tag. And again, what is this view all? This is a action. So this is action you are doing. It's a method in the search class. Do search view all. Search text is a simple text value. It's a variable, string variable. This is a JavaScript function. This is not the action, means Salesforce Apex method or function. Okay. And later on, this is a global variable, and you know why we are using IDs. You can call that elements. So this is an element, right? This is a tag. I can refresh this by ID. I can hide and show these things by ID also. That's useful. You can know more better about these IDs and classes when you have started using CSS. Okay, I want you guys to try that CSS course from double three schools. That will help you a lot. And later on, you guys can try this ID class implementation all your view of tags. Let's go back. So we are done with it, and I have to show one more thing. In the page block table there is a list con. This is also a list of contacts. LST con is a collection type, that is list. I am getting this from the class. I also show you how I defined that. And y dot phone, y dot name and phone are coming from this list, because I assigned this list each value to y, and y I am printing like this. That's it. That's what the variables which I'm using here. If I come back to such class, okay, this is a such class. I'm using with sharing, means all the sharing rules will apply. Whoever is having access to the record with sharing rules, that particular records only will be shown on the page. If I got 419 records, I am seeing the 419 records. If Sridhar logged into the system, if you got only access to 40 records, 40 contact records, you can see 40 records on the page, and you can only search that 40 records only. It runs on the sharing context. Okay. Later on, if you see, I am the second line, I am defining the list class. Sorry, I'm defining the list collection. So list of contacts, it's a collection type. I named that with lstcon. Okay, and I have getter and setter methods to access it on the page. If I am not using these methods, if I remove this particular thing, okay, I can do like this also. Means now this collection will become the local. Means I can only use this collection type inside this class, and I can even call it from other classes also, but I cannot call it on the page, on this search page. Okay, and click on
Can you please run this?
see, it's asking where is the get. I'm getting some data on the page, right? Where's the get list con, like that. So if you are trying to update, or if I'm trying to show values on the page, I have to use getter method. If I'm trying to save the list records into the from the page to the backend system, I have to put set method also. Okay, but I will replace this with, and after that I have public class. What is this? This is a constructor class. This sorry, this is a constructor method. Really sorry. Okay, I'm making some mistakes. Such class is the class name. With the same name, there is a method inside that class. Means it's a constructor method. You know that. Okay. Means whenever you are calling this particular such class, you are automatically calling this method also without okay. Um, it generally be automatically called. And what I'm doing when I'm calling this, whenever I'm opening page, I'm calling the such class because it's linked to this page. Whenever I'm calling the such class, I'm calling this method, that is such class. Okay. After that, I have some values in list con. First of all, when you are loading the page only, I'm trying to show the data of 419 records. That is happening because of this fourth line. Okay. And at the end of this, okay, I am closing this constructor method. After that, I'm defining a string value, that is such text, with getter and setter, because in this way I'm going to get the value from the page, and I'm going to use the such text in searching the records on my SOQL query. What is SOQL represents for? Salesforce Object Query Language. So when I'm calling this particular method, see that particular main SOQL query which I'm using here is this. Whenever I'm trying searching some data here, putting some text values, it obviously calls every time when I'm keying up. I'm calling do search. I'm calling this do search method, and this do search method, what I'm doing inside that, for list con, I'm assigning all the values coming from this SOQL query. Select ID, name, phone from contact, where name, like. This is the where loop is very important. Name, like, such text which I'm using here, plus percentage symbol. All the all the values starting with the value which I entered here will shown there, will be shown on the page. If I have to show all the values which is containing A, then I have to use the percentage symbol before and after the such text. Okay. Actually, you might not understand all the where variable, like where where parameters and the options you have to search. Okay. I will take a separate class on SOQL queries. What type of where filters are there, and how you can search them, like contains. All these are keywords you can use in SOQL queries. Okay. I will take a separate class for SOQL queries and SOSL also. Okay. Don't worry about that. This is a simple SOQL query. That says I didn't explain that class before this example. The next class I will plan in such a way that I will explain SOQL. And after that, the view all button is linked with this method. There is a method. The constructor class which is helping for the first time. Next time when I'm searching, this method is helping. When I'm clicking on this view all button, this method is helping me. In this scenario, view all, I'm resetting the such text equal to blank. See, such text equal to null value. There is no value in that, and I am searching with that. Set the value as blank. That's the reason there is no value here. And list con equal to select ID, name, phone from contact, order by name. That's it. I'm printing all the records in order. There is order by statement, group by. I think it's not here. Ascending order, descending order. I can even control that also with SOQL queries. So, do you have any questions on this? We have this three methods. The three methods
Yep.
I am trying to use in different scenarios. One is from the action function, another is from the button, and another constructor method while I am calling the class. Yes, please go ahead.
Venkit, can I ask my question now?
Please go ahead. Yes.
Can you please scroll down a little bit up?
Yeah.
So see the first line number 4 where we put the query and we are getting the data from the contact class.
Mhm.
Sorry, contact table. So below down in the line number 6 we are displaying that data, and within the line number 10 we are making one method like the do search. And what is the purpose of the line number 10? Are we going to store that data there for
Me.
the first con?
Here, see what happens in there is only queries in line number 4, line number 10, and line number 13, or I think 14. This query is helping me to get the data for the first time. See, whenever I'm loading the page for the first time, which method I'm calling? I'm calling only the constructor method, which is not having any filters. See, the data the data coming from showing on the page currently is coming from this list lsticon equal to this. And when I'm doing when I'm doing some key up, what's happening is I am adding. See here, what I'm doing is I am simply storing new values into this. Whenever I'm doing this, right, what happens is the old values will be cleared, and you are assigning new values from this query. It's not going to store the old values. Okay, there are 419 values here. When I kept a keyword here, there are 6 values. Now the 6 values will be stored in the lst icon at the 10th line. And again, when you click on view all button, it's going to be reset. Okay, I can put it reset also. I can rename this to reset also. What happens that in that game, I'm making the search text as blank, and later on I am not using any such filter, and I'm going to see all the 419 records on the from the query. I'll get that, and I will assign this to lstcon. When I'm doing this type of query and I'm assigning some values, all the old values in the lstcon will be cleared, and I'm assigning only the new values coming from the query. That's what happens in this scenario. See, there are 419 records now. I'll click on a. There are around 5 records. Click on view all. These are 3 steps. First step, when I open the page, this method is called. Second time, when I kept a value here that is a, there are 5 records coming into list con. Third time, when I click on view all, I got the full content of 419 records on the page. Elastic con is a common thing which I am trying to show with the page block table. I can't use page block section here because page block section will be only used only if there is only one record properties. If there are more records, if I want to print all the things in a page by order, I can use page block table and column tag under that. Now, what is there are 2 columns here, name and phone. It's here. That columns I'm printing. Okay. All the records in LSTCon will be automatically printed. And again, as I said, you have to render. If you are not rendering properly, the data will not change effectively. Okay. That is the reason whenever I'm clicking on do search, searching the records, I am calling PB. Whenever I'm loading the page, obviously the complete page is getting rendered for the first time. That happens. But when I'm doing searches, it won't refresh if you are not doing that. That's the reason I'm using re-render PB. The complete component page block will be refreshed. And even when I were clicking on the button also, I'm refreshing the same component because all the data which I'm trying to show in this page is inside page block only. Okay.
Yep, I got it. And what does the position relative? Position, I do understand. What does the relative stands for?
Relative generally, so actually position is a styling attribute. It has multiple values: absolute, relative, and fixed also. There are values. Okay. So a relative means the actual position of you all is here, very next to the button. Okay. If I am giving position equal to relative, and if I give left equal to 200 pixels, from here I want to move this button by 200 pixels. For suppose if I want to keep this UR button fixed on the page, I can use fixed also. So this all comes into CSS. Okay, it's not a Salesforce class, but this comes into cascading style sheets. Okay, you see if I click on save, but this is really important. Okay, as a Salesforce developer, they don't even expect you to just code the Salesforce only. They generally ask you to write HTML, CSS, JavaScript a lot, a lot when you're doing pages. See, now the button is here. I want to keep this like 600 pixels. I'm clicking on save. Now the current position which I'm printing the button is fixed and it shows 600 pixels from here. The fixed position attribute will generally check the complete leftmost position, and from here it's trying to show here. That's fine. What I am doing, I'm trying to scroll the page. See, the position is fixed at this location, and when I was scrolling also, still here. It depends. Some requirements are there, right? Even though if you're scrolling down, you can see the cancel and delete button on the top and bottom. If you want to give the type of requirements, yes. But currently, relative is really better and fine. It depends on your requirement, okay? For suppose, if there is a 40-page document, if I want to close the document at 70th page, I have to close 70 pages, right? Means 70 pages I have to come back again to the starting, or I have to go ending. In that case, I can use view all button when I'm trying to implement this type of when I'm trying to implement some mobile applications. Yes, that's a really important feature. You can't again scroll 70 pages up for clicking on that button. I can fix this button somewhere in the common or bottom left or top right with this position equal to fixed attribute, and I can scroll. And if I want to close the button at 270th page also, I can click on that and I will close that page. Got it? Yeah.
Yep.
Then learn
Thank
about
you so
these
much.
particular attributes in CSS course. I want you guys to go through that course also. That course is really good in double three school. That's a simple and easy course. You guys can try. I think in Canvas also I created this links to try this course. Hash CSS. Before CSS, go HTML. After CSS, after the JavaScript. After that, you can try many other things like XML, JSON, and even jQuery, all that stuff. Okay, it defines the position of the position, CSS position. So you can read about that and the fixed stuff. You can try some examples and relative example which I tried in the previously. Okay, and top and left are the attributes which you generally use for setting the position, and these are the actual values. Okay, okay. See, position attributes generally accepts absolute, fixed, relative, static, and inherit. You can try these examples. Okay, yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. Actually, I want to close this class early. Okay, have some other work. Okay, let's meet in another call. And as I said, I will create some login for you and share that to you.
Thanks,
I
Venkat.
just need a group email. Can you guys, Shankar, can you create a group email for me and can you share that so that whenever there is a security token which is going to be sent to you, because when I'm creating a single account, I can't, or else I can do call for. Anyway, I'll take care of it. Okay. I'll automatically.
Venkat, do we have a class tomorrow?
No, this weekend I won't. This weekend I don't want to connect classes. If if you guys are available, just put me on WhatsApp. I can try connecting the class on this weekend. Okay. Generally, sometimes
Yep.
I connect with the classes. Okay.
Yep. And can you please send us the course content also so we can follow the course content and according to that we will prepare ourselves on the weekend?
Exactly. And you guys can check the Canvas login which I shared to you. That's what I'm speaking about in the first when I joined this class. This complete tool is useful for managing your courses. You click on pages, you have each module.
Can you please send this again if you never mind?
Yeah, I can do that. So these are the pages, topics, and I'm trying to spend some time with my colleagues, and I want to update all the recordings for each and every topic on page so that you guys can directly click on this data management, go through that video, and any questions you can also post discussion section, link it here. Assignment. I want to implement this software which is helpful for the candidates. Okay. Some of the other exam, some pages I added the recordings also. You can check the topics what you want to cover. Okay. You guys can try. If you have any issues, you can let me know. And even there are some recordings, but it's not sorted. It's not properly named. The recordings are not named properly. But I will do that. But it takes a lot of time for doing that. Okay, I was slowly doing that. Thanks, guys. Let's meet tomorrow. I will resend the okay request for you guys.
Thank you, Venkat, but please send us about this link on the email.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.